Authorized Digital Sellers is an initiative from the Interactive Advertising Bureau, also known as the IAB, to improve transparency in programmatic advertising. DFP publishers are able to declare a list of authorized digital sellers by creating an Ads.txt file. Publishers can create their own Ads.txt files directly in DoubleClick for Publishers to identify who is authorized to sell their inventory. Once an Ads.txt file has been hosted at the root level domain, it will be publicly available and crawlable by buyers, third-party vendors, and exchanges. The use of Ads.txt is not mandatory, but is highly recommended, as it can help protect your brand from counterfeit inventory that is intentionally mislabeled as originating from a specific domain. In addition, declaring authorized sellers can help you receive more advertiser spend that might have otherwise gone towards counterfeit inventory. Your Ads.txt file should publicly declare the account for each exchange or supply-side platform, also known as SSP, that is authorized to sell your inventory. To create an Ads.txt file, navigate to the Admin section of your DoubleClick for Publishers account, and then select Ads.txt Management. If you don't see this section in your account, it's likely you have not been assigned to a role with the Ads.txt Management permission enabled. Please reach out to your network administrator to be assigned this permission. Now, if you don't have an existing Ads.txt file, you'll be shown the option to create an Ads.txt file. However, if you already have an existing file, this screen will display a list of domains with an Ads.txt file in their current authorization status. For the purposes of this training, we'll walk through the steps to create a new Ads.txt file and conclude with guidance on monitoring and fixing file errors. In the dialog window, you'll need to start by reviewing the automatically generated text provided by Google. Each row represents a separate seller account that can be authorized to sell your inventory. The first field contains the name of the advertising system. For Google Publisher accounts, this domain is always google.com. The second field is the publisher's account ID. This is the identifier associated with the seller or reseller account within the advertising system in field number 1. The third field is the type of account or relationship. The value direct will be used to indicate that the publisher directly controls the account indicated in field number 2 on the system in field number 1. This tends to mean a direct business contract between the publisher and the advertising system. Alternatively, the value reseller will be used to indicate that the publisher has authorized another entity to control the account indicated in field number 2 and resell their ad space via the system in field number 1. Finally, the fourth field is optional and allows a certification authority ID to be added. This means that the publisher has authorized another entity to control the account indicated in field number 2 and resell their ad space via the system in field number 1. To omit a seller and remove its authorization, delete the row containing its information from the dialog window. Please note, our Ads.txt generator can only supply information for Google seller accounts. If you work with other SSPs or exchanges, please be sure to accurately input their corresponding information. Once all relevant information is included, either copy the text and paste it into your own Ads.txt file, or download it as a new text file. From there, send the file to your webmaster and ensure it has been uploaded to your root domain. For example, example.com/ads.txt. We strongly recommend that you check back regularly to ensure that all of your seller accounts are authorized in an Ads.txt file posted to your root domain. If there are issues with any listed domains, you'll see the Show Unauthorized Domains option, which filters the list of domains to those with a missing or incorrectly specified publisher ID. Select the Fix button to open a dialog which highlights warnings or errors in the last crawled version of the Ads.txt file. From there, hover over icons as well as underlined text for detail on what to fix. For additional information, you can navigate directly to help content from this button. Finally, after your review and changes are complete, be sure to download a new copy of the Ads.txt file to send to your webmaster. And this brings us to the end of this tutorial on creating an Ads.txt file. For more training information, please explore Publisher University as well as the Help Center. Thanks for watching.